Hello and welcome to MHA Digital Communities. My name's Katie and today we're going to be making some artworks inspired by Italy. So let's get started. So today we're going to be making a Venetian mask. The materials you'll need for this are a cardboard paper plate, some masking tape or sellotape, a pair of scissors, a pencil, a glue stick. I've got 2 sheets of thin tissue paper. I've got a green one and a red one. You can choose your own colour scheme, but I have gone for the classic Italian flag colours, which are red, green and white. I've also got these little bits of, I've got some feathers in red, green and white. And if you don't have feathers, you can use other things for embellishment, like you could use ribbons, or you could just literally cut up some sugar paper as well. I've got these little green stickers. If you've got anything like that, any kind of stickers or decorative items that you could stick on, that would be good. I've also got these little tiny glittery diamante stickers, but equally you could use glitter if you had some of that, if you wanted to use it. Anything that's really just going to add a little bit of decoration that you can easily stick on. So to start off with then, I've got my paper plate, and that's going to be the main shape that I'm going to use for the mask. I actually used my glasses so it would fit me. So if you don't have a pair of glasses, what I suggest you do is borrow a pair of glasses or sunglasses, just so that you've got something that's the right kind of shape for your eyes. So for my glasses, I've just literally gone onto here and I've just drawn around them. And I've just got the basic outline of where the eyes would be. And if you look at that, a paper plate just seems to be the right kind of size as well. So that's why I chose that. Then once I've got those drawn in, I'm just going to go underneath and just draw a line about 1 centimetre down, just to follow that outline. And then along the top, I'm going to take probably the same depth here and just do a little bit more, so really just towards the edge of here. I'm just going to follow the shape of the glasses so it dips up in the middle. I'm just going to draw a line like that. We're always able to make this smaller later when we cut it out, but we've just got a rough shape here that gives you the rough shape of a mask. And also quite handily with this plate, it curves round slightly, so that makes it quite good as a mask kind of a shape. So I'm now going to have a go at cutting this out. I'm going to take off this edge a little bit and then just go in. Okay, now I want to just curve the edges a little bit more. So I'm just going to make it dip in the middle a little bit. And try and curve that. So I've just finished cutting out my mask shape, as you can see, and at this point I'm going to use a craft knife or a scalpel that I've got to cut out these shapes. You could use scissors if you wish to, And what you would do is you would carefully, making sure your fingers are out of the way, you'd carefully make a little hole, and then you would start to cut into the shape. And try and use a slightly smaller pair of scissors, which will be just a little bit easier to get around, but it can be done, but you just have to be that's it. It's just a little bit fiddly, but cut out the shape of the glasses for the eyes. I'm just going to use my craft knife just to finish off that bit there. Right, and try not to make that too thin, as you won't have enough space for the decoration. So if I look at mine, it is a little bit uneven, so I will probably just leave it as it is for now and just try and make sure that I put enough paper to cover that little difference. Okay, so there we are. So I'm looking at that. It is a little bit smaller than the one I made before, but that doesn't matter. We're just going to go ahead. Right, so then we're going to, the next stage is going to be, we're going to start to cover this in paper. So I've got my red tissue paper here, and what I'm going to do is cut out a piece big enough to go over it, but also have a little bit left at the edges. Like so. Then I'm going to get my glue stick and put the glue onto the cardboard. Like that. And then I'm going to take my piece of tissue paper and smoothly stick it onto the top. And then I'm going to put some glue on this side here, and then carefully fold it over. Now, because this bit has a dip in it, it's a bit like when you're using a pattern for clothes, you have to just cut out some little areas so it will follow the curve round. So I'm just going to cut a little bit there so I can just flap it over like that. Should just be folding it over. If there's a bit too much paper, just cut a little bit off, but you just want enough to go over the edge. This bit in the middle, I'll just cut a tiny little bit out so I can tuck it under. Any bits that won't stick down, you can always stick them down with sellotape later on. Okay, so I've made that bit, and then again I'm going to cut out a hole here in the middle so that I can then wrap my paper around the other way. And I'm just cutting a little slice into the corners there, so I'll be able to fold it down, make a slightly bigger eye hole there. And you can just fold back the edges. It is a little bit fiddly. Just take your time. So that's it. So I've now got all of my edges covered over, both on the top side and the bottom side. I can move this out of the way. All right, for the next stage, now I'm going to take the green tissue paper. And I'm just going to cut a strip. And out of this strip, I'm trying to make these little squares. So I'm going to try and straighten the edge a little bit. Just to make them small enough to fit on there, so we're a little bit narrower. Right, so I'm just going to cut out a few squares to go along the top there. So I've got 5 along the top and I've got about 4 along the bottom. Well, these two are technically at the side, so we can see how that's going to work out. And then I'm going to stick those on. So I'm trying to go for a diamond effect rather than a square, so you're putting them that way up. And one in the centre here. It doesn't matter if it has to flap over, that's fine. We're just trying to get the idea of this kind of harlequin pattern. So these masks, actual Venetian masks, are traditionally made out of paper mache, so they would be using thin layers of paper like we're doing, but obviously we're taking a little bit of a shortcut. There we go, and then we're just going to put the bottom pieces of colour on. I've gone again for this lovely contrasting colour scheme where we've got the red, the blue and the white, sorry, the red, the green and the white. Be careful of putting too much ink, otherwise, because the tissue paper is so very thin, it can clump up like it did just then. And then we just place that on there. Okay, so we've got those main areas of colour. Now I'm going to use some of these little stickers that I've got. It's quite good that they're stickers because they also help to just flatten down the corners of any little stray bits of tissue paper. So I'm just sticking those on the corners of the shapes that I've got. It's just a really quick way of adding a little bit of decoration and colour. And they've already got glue on them, so that's perfect. I'm adding a few dots in between. If you have other types of stickers like gold stars or anything else really, it's just a little bit of colour. I'm putting some along the top as well. Okay, so once you've got enough of the stickers to have filled in all of these little areas and surrounding the green paper, then we can add any other embellishment. I've got some of these little diamante stickers which are quite nice. They come in a strip and they're pre-glued. They are a little bit fiddly to work with, but they are quite effective. And again, if you don't have these, you could use just a little bit of glitter or even another coloured sticker. If you had like a silvery or a gold sticker, you could add that in. I'm just going to add a few of these dots, sticker dots, sparkly dots along the bottom. Like that. And now it's time to add the feathers. I've got a selection of green, white and red feathers. I'm going to turn the mask over and I'm going to be adding them here to this, what will be the left side when it's facing the front. So I'm just going to align the feathers along the back. These feathers obviously have like a shiny front side and a back side where the centre goes. So I'm just going to put them shiny side to the front. Okay, just to quickly arrange those. And then I've got these small ones that I'm going to stick at the front. So we will get some masking tape. And stick these along the back. Just making sure you just cover the back there. And then for the next stage, so now you have those, you can turn around and have a look, see how it looks. Obviously there's a few little bits of sellotape, I'm going to remove those, push those back. And then you can add your own little stand here. So for example, I've used this multicolored straw. I'll just show you how that's attached. It's literally just added with some sellotape. So I've literally just attached that to there, depending whether you're right or left-handed. Just have it a little bit further down, just enough so it will stay on. Like that. And there you have your Venetian mask. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.